Hello, dear listeners. Welcome back to another episode of the English Learning Podcast by English Finders. I'm Amelia, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful co-host, Liam.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We're excited to have you with us for our 21 episode. Can you believe it, Amelia? 21 episodes already.
Time really flies, Liam. And for this special episode, we've got a topic that's going to be incredibly useful for so many of our listeners. Today, we're diving into how you can practice English speaking alone, no partner needed.
Exactly. Whether you're at home, on your commute, or just out and about, we're going to share some practical tips and techniques to help you keep improving your English speaking skills, even when you're alone.
That's right. So, if you've ever struggled to find a speaking partner or wondered how you can keep your English sharp on your own, this episode is for you.
So without wasting time, let's get started.
All right, let's dive into today's topic, how to practice English speaking alone. This is something a lot of our listeners have asked about, so we're excited to share some strategies that really work.
Yes, Amelia. Practicing alone might sound challenging, but it's actually one of the best ways to improve your fluency and confidence. You can do it anytime, anywhere, and the more you practice, the more comfortable you'll become with the language.
Exactly. So, let's start with the first technique, thinking in English. This is a powerful way to immerse yourself in the language. Instead of just translating your thoughts from your native language, try to think directly in English. For example, when you're planning your day, do it in English. What do you think, Liam?
Thinking in English is a game changer. It might be tricky at first, but with practice, it becomes natural. Another technique is self-talk. Basically, you're having a conversation with yourself. Talk about what you're doing, what you're feeling, or even pretend you're explaining something to someone else. It's a great way to practice speaking without the pressure of an audience.
I love self-talk. It's like having a mini English lesson with yourself. Another great method is mirror practice. Stand in front of a mirror and speak. This helps you see your facial expressions and body language, which are important parts of communication.
Definitely, and it also helps with confidence. When you can look yourself in the eye and speak clearly, it boosts your self-assurance. Another method is recording yourself. Use your phone to record your voice as you talk about a topic or read a passage. Then listen back and see where you can improve, maybe your pronunciation, intonation, or even your sentence structure.
That's a fantastic way to identify areas for improvement. Speaking of reading, reading aloud is another effective technique. Whether it's a book, article, or even a blog post, reading aloud helps you practice pronunciation and fluency. And it's something you can easily fit into your daily routine.
Absolutely. It's a great way to expand your vocabulary. Now, if you're looking for a more interactive way to practice, several language apps can help. These apps offer exercises specifically designed to improve your speaking skills. Some even have AI partners you can converse with.
That's a great point, Liam. And let's not forget about shadowing. This is where you listen to a native speaker and try to mimic their speech as closely as possible. It's great for improving your intonation and rhythm. You can do this with podcasts, YouTube videos, or any audio content you enjoy.
Shadowing is a fantastic technique, especially if you want to sound more natural when speaking English. But let's be honest, practicing alone can have its challenges, right?
Absolutely. One of the biggest challenges is the lack of feedback. When you're practicing alone, it's hard to know if you're making mistakes. That's why it's important to use resources like online communities or apps where you can get feedback from native speakers or language learners.
And another challenge is staying motivated. It can be easy to skip practice when you don't have a partner or teacher to keep you accountable. That's why setting goals is so important. Track your progress, celebrate your milestones, and reward yourself for your achievements.
Consistency is key. Even if you only have a few minutes each day, make it a habit. The more you practice, the more progress you'll make. And remember, every little bit counts.
Exactly. So don't be discouraged if it feels tough at first. With time, you'll see improvement, and you'll feel more confident speaking English, even when you're by yourself.
Now that we've discussed some effective techniques for practicing English speaking alone, let's move on to something a little more relatable, a real-life conversation between two friends. This is where you can hear how these tips might play out in everyday situations.
Exactly. Today, we're going to listen in on a conversation between Sophie and Lucas. Sophie has been practicing English on her own for a while now, and she's sharing her experience with Lucas, who's just starting out and facing some challenges.
Hey Lucas, how's your English practice going? You mentioned you wanted to improve your speaking skills.
Hi, Sophie. Yeah, I've been trying, but it's tough without someone to practice with. I feel like I'm not making much progress.
I totally get that. I used to feel the same way. But I started practicing on my own and it really helped. Have you tried thinking in English?
Thinking in English. I've heard of that, but I'm not sure how to start.
It's pretty simple. Instead of translating from your native language, just start narrating your thoughts in English. Like when you're planning your day or deciding what to eat, try to do it in English. It might feel strange at first, but it becomes natural after a while.
I can try that. What else do you do?
Well, another thing that really helped me was talking to myself. I know it sounds funny, but self-talk is a great way to practice. For example, when I'm cooking, I explain what I'm doing in English, like now I'm chopping the vegetables, or I'm going to add some salt. It's a good way to keep the language flowing.
That sounds interesting. But what about pronunciation? Sometimes I feel like I'm not saying things correctly.
That's where recording yourself can be really helpful. I record myself speaking and then I listen to it. It's a bit awkward at first, but it helps you catch mistakes and improve. You can also compare your speech to native speakers and adjust accordingly.
I never thought of that. I guess it's like giving yourself feedback.
Exactly. And don't forget about reading aloud. It's another great way to practice pronunciation and fluency. Just pick something you enjoy reading and go for it. The more you do it, the more confident you'll become.
These are some great ideas, Sophie. I've been feeling stuck, but I think these techniques could really help me. How do you stay motivated to keep practicing alone?
It's all about setting small goals and celebrating your progress. I keep track of how often I practice and reward myself when I hit a milestone. It keeps me going, and it's a reminder that I'm improving, even if it's just a little bit at a time.
Thanks, Sophie. I'm going to try these out. Hopefully, I'll start seeing some progress soon.
You will, Lucas. Just keep at it and be patient with yourself. You're doing great.
Now that we've heard how Sophie and Lucas are applying these techniques, let's take a moment to go over some key vocabulary words and phrases from today's episode. These are words that will help you better understand and talk about your English learning journey.
Right. Let's dive into our 5 key vocabulary words and phrases for today.
Our first word is self-talk. This refers to the practice of talking to yourself in English, either out loud or in your mind. It's a way to keep the language active and improve your fluency. Example sentence. During her daily walk, Sophie uses self-talk to describe everything she sees in English.
Next, we have shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say as closely as possible. It helps improve pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. Example sentence. Lucas improved his English pronunciation by shadowing podcasts hosted by native speakers.
Our third word is fluency. Fluency is the ability to speak a language smoothly and easily, without many pauses or mistakes. It's one of the main goals for language learners. Example sentence. Sophie's fluency has greatly improved since she started practicing English speaking alone.
The fourth word is intonation. Intonation refers to the rise and fall of your voice when speaking. It's important for conveying meaning and emotion in your speech. Example sentence. By focusing on intonation during her shadowing practice, Sophie learned how to express herself more naturally in English.
And finally, we have motivation. Motivation is the drive or desire to keep working toward a goal, like improving your English skills. It's what keeps you practicing, even when it gets tough. Example sentence. Lucas struggled with motivation at first, but setting small goals helped him stay on track.
These are some of the key words and phrases that can help you talk about your English practice with more confidence and clarity.
Remember, understanding and using these words in your own practice will not only improve your vocabulary, but also make you more comfortable discussing your learning process. We've covered a lot of ground today on how to practice English speaking alone. From thinking in English to self-talk, mirror practice, and more, we hope you've picked up some useful strategies to incorporate into your routine.
Absolutely. Remember, practicing on your own can be incredibly effective if you use the right techniques. And don't forget the importance of consistency and staying motivated. It's a journey, and every bit of practice helps.
That's right. Keep experimenting with the methods we discussed today and find what works best for you. Whether it's recording yourself, using language apps, or shadowing, there's a technique that can fit into your lifestyle.
We'd love to hear about your experiences with practicing English alone. Feel free to share your thoughts, challenges, and any additional tips you might have in the comments.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got more exciting content coming your way.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. We hope you found today's discussion helpful and inspiring. Until next time, keep practicing, stay motivated, and happy learning.
See you in the next episode. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.